Dad has been someone who's always been there and who's always been.
Everyone feels bad when they have a tough.
In his ways, Imran was very different. He was cool.
It always takes a humongous effort to produce champions in the game of tennis. It is the most watched sport in the world, an effort of a man, father, and a super coach of superstar like Sania Mirza. Hello guys, hopefully everyone is fine. In this video, I will present you the story of Imran Mirza, how he coached 4 former world number 1s including Sania Mirza, Martina Hingis, Cara and Barbora Strycova. We will be joined by eminent sports personalities such as Sania Mirza, Imran Mirza himself. Along with that, will be joined by the partner of Sania Mirza in Rio Olympic 2016, Prarthana Thombare, and then sports journalist Boria Majumdar and digital content lead Rupha Ramani to share their experience about Imran Mirza sir. Kindly watch the video till the very end and support us in our initiative. Sania Mirza was playing singles. Imran Mirza used to coach Sania Mirza week in week out, and he used to give various great tips when he came for on-court coaching, and he devised his strategies accordingly. So you can see in this upcoming video how he coached Sania Mirza when she was playing singles.
Coaching system is Mirza.
Make an effort to go down. Rest for playing okay. ज़रा slow start है मैं कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं करी, just allowed her get me because too. करी मैं slice backhand slice करी मगर ये wrist को नीचे नहीं लेके जा रहा, track पे लेके एकदम 2 balls.
これは神尾さん英語ですかね。親子で喋ってますんでね。
混じってますけども、スライスのバックハンドというようなことを言ってましたからね。それにはきちっとこう対応しなさいっていうようなこともあると思いますね。
टॉप स्पिन नहीं था, उसको खाली उछाल दिया और फॉरहैंड पे स्टे अग्रेसिव, दैट्स द ओनली चांस, क्योंकि नहीं तो कंफर्टेबल पेस पे जाओ आपको डोमिनेट कर
मेरे लेग्स में नहीं पहुंच रहे
और क्योंकि उन्हें मूव करा रही, तुम्हारे को पिन करके बैकहैंड पे फॉरहैंड पे मूव करा रही, वहाँ पे तुम नहीं पहुँच सकते। तो उन्हें मूव कराने से पहले तुम्हारे को मूव कराना है, चांस लेना है, टफ टू गो फॉर इट।
अब उन्हें वो गेम में 2-1 पे 3 सुपर रिटर्न्स करी।
You had your chances at 3-2 at 2-0. Stay aggressive. Market.
तब क्या करना?
इसको फॉरहैंड पे रखो, जितना हो सकता है फॉरहैंड पे रखो, बैकहैंड पे दिया तो उछाल के।
Yeah, I gotta get away. Always waiting for the phone, so I built my towers.
In 2015, there was a major decision that Sania Mirza had to make because she had to choose between Suvese and Martina Hingis. So Imran Mirza sir suggested Sania Mirza to basically partner Martina Hingis based on his experience, and then they produced some amazing. During this period, he was the only coach of Sania Mirza and Martina Hingis. Martina Hingis always used to trust Imran Mirza and his instincts during various crunch situations in matches. During the tenure of coaching Santina, Sania Mirza, Martina Hingis both won 14 WTA titles that includes year-end championships, Australian Open, US Open as well as Wimbledon. He was a very important part of this team because he gave this team important points during crunch situations. You can see in Eastbourne 2015 when Santina was playing against Garcia and Srebotnik, he came to the court and gave valuable tips that that allowed a team to bounce back from double breakdown.
See you, Srebotnik.
It's too short. Your balls are just too short for them, and they're hitting the deeper balls. Take your chances. Move more at the net. And when she's going cross court with Srebotnik, she's going down the line. Be ready for the down the line.
Well, I was ready those 2 balls and she hit it anyway. So.
Before Santina happened, he used to coach Sania Mirza and Cara Black, and the pair won various good WTA titles that include year-end championships, WTA China Open, WTA Tokyo. These are the premier level tournaments that occur during the whole year. Sania Mirza Cara Black was one of the prominent partnerships in late 2013 and in the entire year of 2014, and he significantly coached this team and gave a lot of confidence to both of them to when they were playing against the players like Irani and Vinci, who have won all the slams together in the period of 2012 and 14. So in this video you can see how he came to on-court coaching against Irani and Vinci and gave valuable tips.
Stay aggressive, and Sania, you have to keep hitting the forehand. That's the best chance we have. Okay? Even we lose, but that's the best chance we have. We're doing much better now. And forget the lobs, because the lobs are not working for that. You've hardly won a point on the lobs unless they're both close to the net. Okay?
After Santina's split, there was a choice that Sania had to make to choose a doubles player who can complement her game, and Imran Mirza chose Barbora Strycova, who can match Sania Mirza in her game style. And the result was they won the very first tournament they entered together, that was WTA Cincinnati, one of the most premier level tournament that happens during the year. So after Santina's split, since Barbora Strycova was the choice that was made by Sania Mirza and Imran Mirza, he gave valuable tips to this team as well. This video shows how he was useful in various scenarios. A clip of 2017 Dubai semi-final against Makarov and Vesnina.
I managed to raise her level at that stage. So you have to keep the ball a little bit away from Vesnina for some time. She's not missing too much. Try and attack Makarov more. Also, you need first serve percentage because they're attacking big and they're hitting straight hard at you. So you need to be ready for that, especially on the second serve, to try and get a higher percentage of the first serve. You're not going high enough for the serving time.
But we don't have to play so, because I play flat, good serve, and she plays very good return.
Yeah.
So sometimes even shit serve kick, it's better than like fast, you know?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, but you haven't played badly. It's just a little bit, 1 or 2 points here and there. You were unlucky. Deciding point early on. So stay at it and move at the net and do a few more eyes, maybe, especially on her serve.
Yeah.
Welcome the man himself, Imran Mirza sir. Thank you sir for joining us in this video. I wanted to ask this question, that you have coached many great players like Hingis, Sania, Strycova as well as Black. How was your experience in coaching all of them?
All of them were world number ones in women's doubles, but each of them was different in their own way, their style of play, their temperament, everything. Sania's biggest strength, of course, in the game was a forehand, while Martina had a tremendous backhand as well as great volleying skills, and she read the court really well, read the game really well. Those were her strengths, while Cara Black was someone whose volleying was probably one of the best in the world. She had great volleying skills, she had tremendous reflexes, and Barbora Strycova had a great backhand and was pretty good at the net as well. So apart from the style of play, I think they also had very different temperaments, and as coaches we needed to ensure that we were maximizing their strengths and their abilities. Sania was someone who needed the coaching to be extremely simplified. She would be looking for me to advise her on the weak points of the opponents, and then she would cash in on that. So that's how we worked with Sania. And Martina was someone who loved to debate on court. She would love to have me and talk to me on the court on the advice that I had, and then she would debate about it, and when she was convinced that it would work, that's when she would use it. Cara Black needed a lot of confidence before going into matches, and I would spend about 20 minutes before matches giving her the confidence to convince her that she was the number one in the world, and which she actually was. Her volleying was probably the best I've ever seen in a women's doubles player. Barbora Strycova is different to all these three, and she would. I watched her before she started playing with Sania, and She would be someone who looked like a spoiled brat on the court, screaming at herself, sometimes screaming even at the opponents. And yet, when I went onto court to coach her, I realized that she was extremely amenable to be coached. And when I pointed some points to her, she would actually pat herself on the back and say, "Why didn't I think of that earlier?" And so one had to work around these temperaments and styles of play as well.
The qualities of Imran Mirza and the vision he has made a great career out of Sania. But there are some instances as a father or a coach, you don't want to reflect that painful loss get to you. I did ask Imran Mirza how did he deal with painful losses.
Well, painful losses are never easy to deal with for anybody, but as a coach, I know you did feel the pinch, but you couldn't afford to allow it to be shown to the players on court, and that's something that I had actually mastered. Like, I would be joking around even after a loss and pretend that it wasn't a big deal. But I think the secret to it is that everyone feels bad when they have a tough loss, but it's how quickly you can rebound from that. And I think that's where we helped as coaches to try and help the team rebound. And I think I was successful at most times.
We asked Imran Mirza, sir, tennis being an individual sport, so what is the role of back-end support team in shaping any player's tennis career?
Although tennis is a very individual sport, I think there's more team spirit involved in professional tennis than there is in even team games.
In this video, we welcome various eminent sports personalities like Sania Mirza, 6-time Grand Slam champion, her partner in Rio Olympics 2016, Prarthana Thombare. Along with that, we have Boria Majumdar, who is the founder of REVSPORTZ, and Rupha Ramani, who is a sports broadcast consultant and digital content lead. I asked them various questions regarding Imran Mirza and how impactful he was in this sport. What quality or contribution of Imran Mirza that separates him from the rest of sports fraternity?
Imran's contribution is profoundly different from others in two ways. One, at no point in time did Imran push Sania to win. There was never any pressure on Sania. And that stands out. So at every point in her career, she had the freedom to go and express herself, and there was no pressure from her coach. Number two, a line that I always tell people, it's okay to fail. Imran actually allowed Sania the leisure, the liberty, the chance to fail, because that's how you improve. Unless you fail, you never win. Unless you fail, you will not know what it is to win. And that's what Imran allowed Sania to do. So in both these ways, Imran was very different. He was cool, he was calm, he was composed, and at the same time he would absorb pressure without sort of letting pressure get to Sania.
The thing about Imran is he's I can't see him as a parent. He's so much more as a friend. And I think that was so important, especially in the way he interacted with Sania, because when you're a celebrity in the public space, there's so much of scrutiny on you. There's so much of attention to detailing, and every action or everything that you do has so much more consequences, and it's highlighted so much more. It's exaggerated more than it actually is. So he probably made sure that in that space, when she came back home, in that space, there was none of that. It was a safe space, and he gave her that room to sort of learn, grow, make mistakes, and go forward from there in her own way and her own time. And I think that was really key, and that's so important when it comes to such a relationship, which affects your space mentally as well. Even with us, I cannot really think of him as someone much older than I am. I think he's a friend, and it almost feels like we're the same age. So I think the whole no judgment, friendship lens that he puts is what sort of he permeates when it comes to a lot of his close relationships and in his family as well.
He has a very unique eye in sport in terms of how he analyzes tennis, and I'm forever grateful to have gotten a chance to train under him at SMTA. Thank you, Uncle, for giving us Sania Mirza and paving the way for Indian tennis and making us believe.
How did he impart the fearless attitude in Sania that resulted in a legendary career?
If you know Imran well, you will understand two things. One, deep down, he's a very confident man, and he would instill confidence in you. He would make you feel that you are the best on that particular day. So what if you're not? So what if you're playing the world number 1? So what if you're playing the world number 10? Imran will make you feel that on that day, in that court, you are the best. And he allowed Sania to express herself, not get into a cocoon. So what if you're playing a higher ranked player? And that is a massive, massive thing that Imran had. Imran could let Sania, Imran could make Sania sort of scale those peaks, allowing Sania, giving her the freedom, giving her the confidence to do things that none of us expected her to do, and that stood out in the case of Imran Mirza.
I think a lot of the reason for Sania to be as fearless as she is as a professional as well as a person has a lot to do with Imran and his childhood. He had a very difficult childhood, and there were a lot of hardships he grew out of as a kid, and that fighting sense that he had to have, that he sort of nurtured in himself to live another day and to keep progressing and moving forward, is what I think somehow he's passed on to his children, both Sania and Anam. To have that fighting spirit. I think all his learnings from his own hardships is what he sort of passed on to them, to make sure they were strong irrespective of having to face those same scenarios later in life. So I think that sort of translates into her as a professional athlete in a circuit that is very, very rigorous.
Rupha, my question to you is, he has coached many great players like Sania, Martina, Cara and Strycova. How did he produce brilliant results in all the partnerships?
Imran sort of hits the sweet spot when it comes to mentorship. You've got the analysts on one side who rely on numbers, and then you've got coaches who sort of bank on the technique. He sort of marries the two and reaches out to the emotional aspect when it comes to nurturing and mentoring not just Sania but all her partners as well. He's sort of relies on the bond that he forms with them and banks on his reading of the opponent when it comes to the person they are. So he plans each play, or he sort of gives inputs not just based on their strength but what they bring to the table. So he helps them play the person and not just their game, I think.
Prarthana, my question to you is, what role Imran Mirza has played in your career?
Uncle Imran has played a very powerful role in my career as a coach, as a mentor, especially guiding me to the Olympics.
We welcome Sania Mirza, who is a 6-time Grand Slam champion, 43 WTA titles she has, along with 4 times Olympian. Just wanted to ask you a question that what was the role of Imran Mirza, sir, while you were playing with various great players like Hingis, Strycova as well as Black?
Yeah, my dad has been someone who's always been there and who's always been around. He knows my game in and out, and it was always good to have that guidance with me since a young age. And the same way, just the way I learned the game as we kept playing with experience, he also kept learning new ways, new techniques with new partners, and how to help us through tough moments, how to help us through good moments. So yeah, all in all, he played a part in everything, as a coach, as a father, and as a friend as well.
This video is a tribute to you and everyone around you who gave us the hope that everything is possible. All we need is a supervision and a superpower that purely depicts you. Thank you very, very much, Imran sir, for everything, and again, thank you very, very much.